Good morning, students. Today we are just looking at the same topic that is going to the Laburnum Talk by Ted Hughes. So today we have to look at the literary analysis of this particular poem. So beta topic for today is the same. We have to look at literary devices in detail so far as this particular poem is concerned. So if we look at uh, the second name of literary device, that is poetic device also. So first of all, we have to look at first literary device of this particular poem. So dear students, note down in your copies. I'm just giving the detail of each and every literary device. You should be crystal clear, and that can only be possible if you will be with your register copy or pen to write the things. Just write down the definition first, then examples from the poem will be done. If we look at the definition of this particular literary device, that is alliteration, it is a repetition of, just write down the things, a consonant, a repetition of a consonant sound at the beginning of two or more consecutive words. Just look at the things. You have to look at this particular spelling, Consequue. Just look at consecutive words. Yeah, you will be able to just look at the simple words for this also. If the words are in continuity, continuous word, the word which just move in continuity. If we look at this particular word, you have to look at the thing. Alliteration. What is alliteration? Repetition of a consonant sound at the beginning of two or more consecutive words. Consecutive जो होता है continuity में जो word चलते हैं, that is called consecutive word. Just look at this particular thing. If now open your NCERT, just look at the example. If we look at first line, it is not with any alliteration. Second line, look at the second line of the poem, September sunlight. Just look at S of September and sunlight again S. So just you are crystal clear about this particular definition that S is repeated twice. तो अगर हमने ऑलरेडी मैंने इसकी डेफिनेशन आपको दोबारा बता रही हूँ बेटे, एलिट्रेशन हिंदी में जिसको अलंकार कहते हैं, ये क्या होता है? इट इज अ रेपिटेशन ऑफ constant sound at the beginning of the two or more consecutive words. दो या दो से ज्यादा जब continuity में words होते हैं, उनकी जो consonant sound होती है वो same होती है. Consonant you are able to look at the things कि यहाँ पे S is consonant and again sunlight S is consonant, and ये दोनों देखिए S से start होते हैं. We are able to look at this crystal clear pic that this is alliteration. Second line, September sunlight. Now look at the second example, alliteration, second stanza of the same poem. And if we look at second stanza, third line, just look at the third line. Then sleep as a lizard and alert and abrupt. Just look at the things. A repetition of a letter is 4 times if we particular line. So ये यहाँ पे ये जो word है, that is repeat 4 times. So we are able to look at this particular point that this is alliteration. If we look at the next example of alliteration, just look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th line of stanza number 2. That is the whole tree trembles. So tree trembles. Just look at the repetition of what? T and T. If we look at this thing, we are crystal clear about this particular device कि ये यहाँ पे alliteration है. I think you are crystal clear so far as alliteration of this particular thing is concerned. Alliteration device with example is crystal clear in front of you. Now listen it again, I think, so that because these things are very new to you people, till then you are able to look at the thing in detail. Now look at everything in detail. जो तुम यहाँ नोट कर रहे हो बेटे, जो पढ़ रहे हो, you shouldn't be able to forget because you have to note down the concept. अब इसका concept दोबारा मैं बता रही हूँ. तो देखिए, ये जो consonant letter होता है, sound होती है beginning of letter के, दो शब्दों की जब continuity में same consonant sound होती है, we are able to give crystal clear pic to that particular line or those particular words that it is alliteration. So I have already given example. Stanza 1, S is repeated twice, September sunlight. And if we look at this particular third line of second stanza, and alert and observe. So repetition is there. Now just look at sixth line of the same stanza, that is stanza number 2, three trembles, D is repeated twice. I think this literary device is crystal clear. Now just look at the second literary or poetic device of the day, that is simile. So better just look at the definition of simile first. S-I-M-I-L-E, that is second literary device we are doing today. So just look at what is simile. First of all, you have to look at the what. What help should be able to get the clear pic of this. That is, if two things are compared and contrasted by using word as or like. Just listen the things again. Beta, what is simile? Simile क्या होती है? You have to look at this particular point. If two, add one more word to look at the things in a very clear way. If two different things are compared and contrasted by just using the words as or like. अगर दो चीजें जो बिल्कुल अलग होती हैं, उनको कंपेयर एंड कॉन्ट्रास्ट किया जाता है, किसके साथ लगा के, like और as वर्ड लगा के, we are able to give this particular device, that is simile. Now look at the example from this particular point. Second stanza. Just look at the second stanza. You will be able to look at line number 3. Then sleek as a lizard. So here, goldfinch is compared and contrasted to a lizard. So we are able to look at this particular point that here we are applying simile poetic device. So I think I am repeating the things again. जो सिमिली पोएटिक डिवाइस होती है बेटा, यहाँ दो अलग अलग चीजों को, यहाँ दो अलग अलग एक्शंस और रिएक्शंस को कंपेयर एंड कॉन्ट्रास्ट किया जाता है एस या लाइक वर्ड लगा के. अगर मैं इस पोइम की एग्जांपल आपको बताऊं, ऑलरेडी मैंने कहा है कि जस्ट लुक एट सेकंड स्टैंजा एंड फोर्थ, दैट इज थर्ड लाइन. Sleek as a lizard. If we look at this goldfinch, that is compared and contrasted to this particular lizard. So if we look at this goldfinch, that is entirely different to, and if we look at lizard, that is entirely different. So I think this literary device is crystal clear. So इसमें कोई doubt नहीं रहेगा आपको. You are crystal clear about this. Because single simile is there in this particular poem. इस poem में जो मैंने अभी highlight किया है, third line of second stanza, it is simile, and this particular poem is with single simile. So now look at the next. literary device, that is metaphor. So beta, just look at the detail of this particular poetic device. What is metaphor? Metaphor is if we compare and contrast two entirely different things by using literary words, and it is without as or like. तो जरा ध्यान से इसको दोबारा समझिए, मेटाफोर क्या होता है. देखिए, third literary device we are doing, if we look at this particular definition is if we compare and contrast two different things by using literary words. Basically, this literary device is used to compare and contrast the qualities. And just look at the example of this particular point. इस point में आप देखोगे कि metaphor क्या है. Just look at look at your this particular poem, and that is second stanza of this particular poem. You will be able to get the crystal clear peak of this metaphor. Just look at line number 4 of second stanza. She enters the thickness and a machine starts up. Just look at why this particular line is considered as metaphor. तो आप देखिए, she enters, she means goldfinch enters the thickness. तो जैसे एंट्री करती है ट्री के अंदर, मशीन स्टार्ट्स अप. तो जस्ट लुक एट द थिंग. तो इस लाइन को जरा ध्यान से समझिए कि हमने क्यों इसको डिक्लेयर किया कि इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर लिटरेरी डिवाइस. द नॉइज क्रिएटेड बाय द मूवमेंट ऑफ बर्ड इज कंपेयर्ड टू द मशीन नॉइज. तो जस्ट लुक एट द थिंग. जो नॉइज जो बर्ड की मूवमेंट से बिगिन हुआ था, गोल्डफिंच की जो मूवमेंट की जो वॉइस थी, नॉइज की साउंड थी, दैट इज कंपेयर्ड एंड कॉन्ट्रास्टेड टू द मशीन. यहाँ पे यू विल बी एबल टू गेट द क्रिस्टल क्लियर पिक अगेन. तो इस मेटाफोर डिवाइस के लिए मैंने ऑलरेडी कहा कि मेटाफोर कब होता है जब हम दो एक्शन रिएक्शन या दो चीजों को जो बिल्कुल अलग होती है कंपेयर एंड कॉन्ट्रास्ट करते हैं विदाउट एज और लाइक लगा के. सिर्फ उसके लिए लिटरेरी वर्ड्स यूज किए जाते हैं. मैंने यहाँ पे एग्जांपल आपके लिए किया कि शी एंटर्स, यहाँ पे गोल्डफिंच की एग्जांपल दिया. तो द नॉइज क्रिएटेड बाय द मूवमेंट ऑफ बर्ड्स, यहाँ पे जो मूवमेंट ऑफ बर्ड्स है तो यू शुड बी एबल टू गेट द क्रिस्टल क्लियर पिक. यहाँ पे मूवमेंट ऑफ बर्ड्स गोल्डफिंच के लिए यूज नहीं किया गया. दैट इज बेसिकली यूज फॉर द यंग वंस ऑफ गोल्डफिंच. जैसे ही उसकी एंट्री हुई, उसके जो बेबीज थे, जो यंग वंस थे, दोस हु वर वेटिंग फॉर देयर मॉम, देयर मदर टू फीड देम, तो उन्होंने अपनी डिलाइट से एक्शन और रिएक्शन जो शुरू किए थे. सो उनकी जो आवाज है, जो साउंड क्रिएट की गई है, वो कंपेयर एंड कॉन्ट्रास्ट की गई है मशीन से. सो वी आर एबल टू think of this particular line that it belongs metaphor device. I think metaphor is crystal clear. दोबारा इसको समझ लीजिए क्योंकि बच्चे कई बार सिमिली और मेटाफोर में कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं. स्टूडेंट्स डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज. जब हम सिमिली जो डिवाइस यूज कर रहे होते हैं, एज और लाइक यूज किया जाता है कंपेयर और कॉन्ट्रास्ट करने के लिए दो अलग अलग चीजों को या दो अलग अलग एक्शन और रिएक्शंस को. इसको मेटाफोर में हम एज और लाइक यूज नहीं करते बेटे. यहाँ पे दो चीजें जो बिल्कुल अलग होती हैं या दो एक्शन और रिएक्शन जो बिल्कुल अलग होते हैं, वी कंपेयर एंड कॉन्ट्रास्ट इज विदाउट एज और लाइक, एंड we have to use literary words for this. So automatic we are able to give the crystal clear pic that is metaphor. तो मैंने ऑलरेडी कहा कि बेसिकली इसको हाईलाइट किया जाता है जो मेटाफोर है क्वालिटीज को कंपेयर एंड कॉन्ट्रास्ट करने के लिए. आई थिंक क्रिस्टल क्लियर अबाउट the third device of the day. जो हमने इस poem की third device है, you are crystal clear to look at this particular device. Already जब हमने starting किया था in our previous lecture, paradox was crystal clear. That was done. I think you are crystal clear about that. There is no need of repetition of that. Now just look at the next literary device of this particular point. Next literary device is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia क्या होता है? If we look at the thing, if we look at the spelling, onomatopoeia. ये कौन सी लिटरेरी डिवाइस होती है? Just look at this particular literary device. If we look at this, so ये डिवाइस हमें हाईलाइट करती है how something sounds. किसी भी जो ह्यूमन बीइंग होता है या एनिमल होता है या बर्ड होता है, जो साउंड उसको हाईलाइट करने के लिए किया गया है. अगर इस पॉइंट में देखें, we will be able to look at number of words. इस डिवाइस के we are able to highlight number of words. Look at the this particular device in this particular point. If we look at the जितने भी sound words हैं, उनको highlight करने के लिए this particular literary device is used. If we look at this particular point, we are just highlighting number of examples to give crystal clear pic of this particular device. तो अब ये देखिए यहाँ पे ट्विचिंग वर्ड यूज किया गया, वो भी साउंड के लिए था. चिरप वर्ड यूज किया गया, वो भी साउंड के लिए था. चिटरिंग्स वर्ड यूज किया गया, वो भी साउंड के लिए था. और यू मस्ट बी able to look at this particular point. ट्रिलिंग्स वर्ड था, वो भी साउंड के लिए था. So you are able to give the crystal clear examples from the poem. जो this particular literary device is crystal clear. पहले definition already आपके सामने है कि ये literary device highlights how something sounds. कैसे किसी भी living being की या किसी चीज की जो sound होती है, आवाज आती है, this particular literary device highlight this. So examples from the poem is twitching, chirrup, chitterings, trillings. I think all these words highlight how the sound is there. So, लेकिन ये तो जितने भी words हैं, these are used to look at the sound of goldfinch or her young ones. So I think this literary device is in front of you and are crystal clear about this. So I think this is a very small poem and only 4 or 5 literary devices are used to look at this particular poem. Again, I am letting you know that, dear students, this particular poem is in a free verse. इसमें कोई भी rhyming scheme नहीं है. So automatically it is highlighting a very, very fine ideology. क्या highlight किया जा रहा है? अगर मैं central idea या central point बताऊं इस point का, you should be able to look at the thing. Central point of this particular point highlights the relationship between body and soul. तो क्यों? अब ये देखिए, मैंने कहा है कि अगर इसका सेंट्रल आइडिया देखा जाए, इस पोइम का या सेंट्रल पॉइंट देखा जाए, तो इट इज हाईलाइटिंग बॉडी एंड सोल. तो आप देखिए, at the beginning of this particular poem, dear student, you have seen that particular tree was still. There was no noise, there was stillness. So automatically, the arrival of goldfinch, the number of actions or reactions and sounds were there to be heard or there to be listened. तो अब ये देखिए, यहाँ बॉडी को कंपेयर एंड कॉन्ट्रास्ट किया जा रहा है. यानी कि हमारा, अगर हम अपने ह्यूमन बीइंग के लिए ये एग्जांपल कोट करें, तो our body is able to move with the soul. So if the soul will not be there in the body automatically, or body will not be in a living state. So so that a combination of body plus soul means living being, human being. तो ऑटोमेटिकली यहाँ पे इस पॉइंट का लिंक सेंट्रल पॉइंट में मैंने इसलिए तुम्हें बताया जा रहा है कि बेटा यहाँ पे जो बॉडी है उसको कंपेयर एंड कॉन्ट्रास्ट किया जा रहा है लैबोरम ट्री के साथ, और सोल को कंपेयर एंड कॉन्ट्रास्ट किया जा रहा है गोल्ड फिंच के साथ, क्योंकि गोल्ड फिंच ने वहां का जो इन्वायरमेंट था उसको लाइव बनाया था, बिकॉज शी वाज देयर फॉर हर ओन पर्पस, शी वांटेड टू फीड her young ones, so that is why she was there on that particular thing. Now just look at the second point. अब सेकंड एक और भी रिलेशनशिप बताता है अगर सेंट्रल आइडिया दूसरा देखा जाए, क्योंकि इस ये पॉइंट नो डाउट दिस इज स्मॉल पॉइंट, इट इज वेरी फाइन सेंट्रल आइडियाज एंड वेरी फाइन थीम, and only 4 or 5 literary devices we have already explained. So अब इसमें if we look at this particular relationship between, एक और central idea इसमें, relationship between mother and, we look at the next point, you have to look at the thing, her young ones. Young ones यानी babies जो होते हैं, तो just look at the affection of mother towards her kids, towards her young ones. So it's very pious relationship of mother with her young ones. So automatically this particular ideology is implemented for every living being, maybe human being, maybe animals, maybe birds. They show the same affection towards their kids. For their children, their affection in the same order. So I think central idea of this particular point is crystal clear. Now just look at the vocabulary or question answers of this particular point in a very fine way. If we look at vocabulary, I think you are crystal clear. Again, I'm giving the repetition of a very few words so that should be able to look at the crystal clear pick of each and every word. So already we look at the beginning word, that is the labana. Labana I have already told is a tree. It's a very small tree और hanging branches होती है और yellow leaves होते हैं और poisonous seeds होते हैं. So if we look at the definition of this particular labana, a short tree with hanging branches, yellow flowers and poisonous seeds. So just look at this particular thing. और ये बहुत short size का होता है. This tree used to be there in Europe in the early time, but now it is grown in India. इंडिया में भी इसको ग्रो किया जाता है. I think labana is crystal clear. So no doubt so far as this particular word is concerned. Now just look at the second tough word. I think goldfinch is very easy word. लेकिन goldfinch में बेटा there are number of types. If we look at goldfinch, तो ये बहुत टाइप्स की होती है. यहाँ नंबर 2 टाइप ली गई है येलो कलर की. जो गोल्डफिंच थी उसकी इंटायर बॉडी येलो थी, लेकिन फोरहेड पे और उसकी जो आई थिंक फेदर्स पे ब्लैक पैटर्न था. तो क्यों? जस्ट लुक एट द थिंग्स, व्हाई दिस सो. तो ऑटोमेटिकली गोल्डफिंच इज यूज्ड फॉर वर्ड येलो कलर्ड वर्ड विद आई थिंक ब्लैक stripes. वो भी सिर्फ on the I think upper part of the body and on the feathers. Just look at this particular word in a very detailed way. यहाँ पे एक क्वेश्चन और निकलता है, vocabulary का पार्ट कह लो या आप जनरल पार्ट कह लो. What is the importance of yellow in this point? If we look at this particular point, the importance of yellow color is highlighted. क्यों? अब देखिए already it is highlighted. Goldfinch is yellow. And if we look at the flowers of this particular tree, yellow. If we look at leaves that were turning yellow. So why it is so? Just look at the ऑटम सीजन जो होता है, you will be able to look at that is, I think, responsible for turning every leaf into zero, into yellow color. Yani, you should be able to understand this. तो यहाँ पे येलो कलर इसलिए हाईलाइट किया गया है. बेसिक रीजन इज दैट बिकॉज इट इज हाईलाइटिंग ऑटम सीजन. और दूसरा पॉइंट ये कि येलो गोल्ड फिंच ही क्यों कोई, इसका रीजन है बेटा क्योंकि goldfinch wants to protect her children at any cost. तो उसने अपना नेस्ट वही बनाया, उस ऊपर ही बनाया जिसके ये येलो फ्लावर्स थे, क्योंकि जो यंग वंस थे उनका भी येलो कलर ही जब था और गोल्डफिंच का भी येलो कलर था. दैट वाज to give protection to her young one's life or to give protection to her life. Already मैंने कहा poisonous tree ही क्यों choose किया गया था. Already in the previous lecture we had discussed that particular point. You are able to get the crystal clear because of that कि yellow color autumn season को highlight करता है और poisonous tree कि उन वो बच्चे safe and sound रहे. Nobody should be able to just hunt these young ones और कोई hunter या कोई negative factor उन पे attack ना करे, क्योंकि tree already lonely रहता था. Nobody used to be there near that particular tree. Reason is crystal clear because never that tree was not able to give proper shadow, no able to give proper stars, not able to give proper I think so that is why nobody was used to be near that particular tree. Yeah, इसीलिए किया गया था because goldfinch wanted to protect her children at any cost. So I think look at the affection level of mother towards her children. So automatically you are crystal clear about this goldfinch कि क्यों yellow color की क्या importance है. तो एक word यहाँ पे you should be able to highlight this particular word. Startlement word भी आपने पढ़ा है. STARTLEMEN. तो इसका मतलब क्या होता है? What do you mean by this? Surprise. हैरान करने वाली चीज को हम startlement कहते हैं. You will look at this particular word. You might be able to observe this particular word in the poem. That is second stanza. A sudden, a startlement. And if we look at the word alert, abrupt. So, alert word is used to get attentive. If we look at this particular abrupt, means sudden or unexpected. I think you are crystal clear about this particular vocabulary. Word यहाँ पे इस poem में trillings है, TRILLINGS. So already it was explained. Still I'm just highlighting singing. Just look at this particular thing. एक word यहाँ पे है eerie. You have to look at this particular word in line number last third line. So EERI. So eerie क्या होता है? You have to look at the meaning of this. That is strange. Strange होता है अजीब. I think you are crystal clear about this particular vocabulary. और एक word यहाँ पे है last line में subside. Subside means return. So I think you are crystal clear about the vocabulary of this particular poem. So now just look at the theme of the poem. I think we have done this particular theme, but we have to look at the repetition of this theme in a very different way. So if we look at the theme, so एक मैंने आपको already बताया था that harsh realities of life. So theme था hardships in life. Hardship is a part of life. तो यहाँ पे hardship किसकी है अगर देखा जाए, फर्स्ट थीम मैं एक्सप्लेन कर रही हूँ दोबारा, आई शुड बी एबल टू हाईलाइट द थिंग। फर्स्ट देखिए, मेन सॉफ्टवेयर वाज laburnum tree. Throughout the day, it used day and night, it used to suffer, was the big sufferer of hardships. And if we look at goldfinch, early in the morning to feed her kids, her young ones, and she used to be worried at every moment to look at the survival of her kids or her young ones. So if we look at young ones, जो छोटे छोटे बेबीज थे उसके, there was the big sufferers. वो suffer क्यों थे? But just look at this particular point, because they used to just live alone. They used to wait for their mother throughout the day because they wanted to get their feed or food their mother. So automatically crystal clear that hardships are part and parcel of every living being's life. Now just look at the second theme of this particular poem. Particular poem is power of love. Power of love or power of affection. If we look at this particular theme, live example of goldfinch. Now, she used to love her young ones from the core of her heart. So that is why she used to work hard for the survival of her kids, of her young ones. And if we look at the young ones of goldfinch used to wait for their mother due to love and affection. So automatically this poem highlights power of love at a very big theme. So just look at this particular point in a very detailed way. Now, if we look at the questions, you should be able to answer every question, students. If we look at what do you notice about the beginning and ending of the poem? आपने beginning और ending में poem को क्या देखा? What have you observed? The beginning of the poem, laburnum tree was still and silent. And at the end of the poem, again, same environment was created because goldfinch was no more on that particular tree. So that is why beginning and ending of the poem is same. Stillness or quiet environment is there at the end of this particular poem. I just look at the thing. If we look at the second question, to what is the word movement compared? What is the basis of this comparison? So very easy question. If we look at this movement of this particular word, it is compared and contrasted to machine. Maybe it is highlighted through the young ones of that particular word. Now just look at the next question. Next question is just highlight movement words from the poem. अगर पूरी poem में बेटा हमने vocabulary देखे, जो movement words हैं वो है जैसे comes, enters, starts up, flirts out, twitching, tremors. So these words are highlighting movement in this particular poem. You should be able to get this. And if we, one more thing I want to highlight, if we look at first question, suppose we are looking at the extract, that is the reading portion of this particular poem. If first question is name the poem and the poet. यहाँ डॉट है, तो कई बार क्या करते हैं, look at the question base. अगर question जो affirmative में होता है, we just don't try to look at the question base. Directly you have to look at the name of the poem, the laburnum top. I want to highlight this particular point कि बेटा अगर डॉट के साथ क्वेश्चन होता है तो आपको डायरेक्ट आंसर लिखना होता है by looking at the dots. So no need of looking at the question base. अगर तुम्हें कोई पूछता है name, please highlight the name directly. If somebody asks you what is the name, you have to highlight my name is what and what and so and so. So I think this particular point is crystal clear. And if we look at this particular extract, जब हम extract का आंसर देते हैं तो आंसर should be to the point. कभी लेंथी आंसर्स में अपने आप को इन्वॉल्व नहीं करना, अदरवाइज CBSE डिडक्ट्स मार्क्स. अगर हम टू द पॉइंट आंसर देते हैं वो लेंथी आंसर होता है, हम नॉट एबल टू गेट प्रॉपर मार्क्स. तो हमें अगर 1 मार्क का क्वेश्चन है, वी हैव टू highlight the answer in single sentence only. And if it is with 2 parts, we have to highlight in 2 sentences. अगर कोई explanation है, maximum 3 sentences are to be used for this. So I think crystal clear about today's lecture. So any doubt, any query, I will be available. Thank you. Thanks a lot. This is all for today. Any doubt, any query, you can ask.